How far have you gone in trying to find out how do I monetize this skill of mine that I have? No secret, it's just common sense. Are you one of those people who are strongly convinced that there is a secret to success, that there is a secret to creating good and healthy relationships, that there is a secret to finding your life partner, that there is a secret to actually making your business grow based on a particular skill that you have, based on something that you truly love? Do you strongly believe that there is a secret to that thing? If there is a secret, where is it hidden? I would like to also go and dig and find it so that I can stop working hard, so that I can stop working on improving my skill to make the world that I want, because I strongly believe that it is in my skill that if I harness it properly and make good relationships and always deliver and give people what they want, and then they will voluntarily pay me the money that is worth the work that I've done for them. I would like to get that secret, if there is a secret. I want to put it to you that there's no secret. There's no secret to creating wealth. There's no secret to creating good, healthy relationships. There's no secret to growing your business. There's absolutely no secret. What there is, you've got basics. It's just the basics that you need to master. Once you've mastered the basics, then you just use common sense around that skill or around the thing that you want to achieve. There's common sense around everything. And then once that is put together, then you just align yourself with some very basic life principles. That's all there is to it. Each time I got approached by a person asking me about so-called secrets to doing certain things that they see me do successfully, I often fail to answer that question because I don't know what secret to give. There is no secret. There's just basic things that I do on the things that I do. I'm a photographer professionally. There's no secret to becoming a very good photographer other than just understanding the basics of photography and mastering those basics, and those basics, they then unlock another level of photography. But it cannot happen. You cannot go to any other level of whatever it is that you're doing if you have not mastered the basics. It's funny that as we grow older, we tend to think that there are secrets to doing certain things. Yet when you went to first grade and you were taught the 26 alphabets, you were taught how to pronounce them, then you were taught how to write them, then you were taught how to put these alphabets together to create words, and then thereafter you were taught how to put these words together to create a sentence, to create a paragraph, and to create a full page. It all happens in stages, but it's all based on the basics. In mathematics, we were taught algebra from first grade. You know, someone will come to me and say, but there's no algebra in first grade. Oh no, there is algebra in first grade. I'm pretty sure you do remember in first grade when you were given a problem, and that problem would be 1 plus box equals 3. Now, because we were taught on how to go about to find out what is it that is in the box, then you would come back and say, in the box it is 2. Then 1 plus box equals 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And then in high school, they replace that box with a letter. It would be X or XY or X plus 2 or X squared equals a particular number. Now, all of a sudden, we cannot solve that. Yet, it is a basic thing that we learned, but we just tend to forget as we grow. I even went to the extent of actually asking the question, why is it that you have a very small group of people, especially here in South Africa? We've got a very small group of people that are very, very successful, and that is the Jewish people of South Africa. In a population of over 60 million, in South Africa we have only around about 70,000, if anything, maybe 75,000, but definitely less than 80,000 Jews in this country. Yet this nation or this group of people, they are very, very successful, very, very successful. What is the secret to their success and to their ways of creating wealth? I went to Google and I Google searched the secrets of the Jews in creating wealth. right at the top of the results, it said there is no secret. It's just common sense. I couldn't believe that actually that is their answer to how come they're making wealth. Now, when they break down what common sense is, that they say that you do not spend more than what you earn. So in other words, you live within your means. Number two, they say that of your income, what you need to do is that you need to have a certain percentage that you invest, meaning that you put your money where it will grow. And then the next one is that you save some money for emergency. And lastly, they take a portion of that income and they give it to charity. And they say that's just how they are able to create their wealth. So in other words, I agree with them that there is no secret. It's just common sense. And the common sense, it is aligned with principles. The common sense is aligned with principles. That leads me to ask this question. How far have you gone in mastering the basics of the skill that you have? How far have you gone in mastering of the skill of the stuff or the thing that you truly, truly love? How far have you gone in finding out how can you turn it into a business? How far have you gone in just mastering the basics of it? Because it is in the mastering of the basics that then you can grow from the level of just being a starter or a beginner to get to a level where you can now start to see it becoming a business. How far have you gone in trying to find out how do I monetize this skill of mine that I have? How then does mastering basics and using just a bit of common sense around a particular skill that you have, that you want to monetize, that you want to convert that skill into a cash cow for you, and aligning those to just basic life principles? How does it work? So mastering basics, it involves the principle of routine. Routine says whatever that you do repeatedly, you master. Routine is one of those principles of mastery. You want to master anything, you do it repeatedly. And in this case, you are not mastering something that is far-fetched off, because if you've got something that you truly love and you've got basic knowledge of the thing, all that is required is just to do the basics over and over and over and over again, and that is called routine. What then that will do, it will unlock another principle that you truly, truly need if you wanna if you wanna go from one level to the next level of your growth. It will produce resourcefulness in you. You'll become a person that is resourceful. I'll make an example. When I started off in photography, I was using just a camera with a kit lens. It's normally 18 to 55 millimeter. And that lens, it comes standard with the camera. Because I did not have the money to buy expensive lenses or sharp, fast lenses that I could use like I do have now, I had to find out a way of how to use my kit lens, the lens that comes with the camera, and using that very same camera to get images that would be very pleasing to my clients. What helped me was to actually know the strength of this lens that I have. To what limit can I push it? What can it do? What it cannot do? Up until I realized that in some instances, in order for me to get the images that I've seen other photographers producing with very expensive lenses, the minute I got closer to a subject, the minute I got closer to what I want to photograph, then I would get a relatively fairly good image, very close to what a person with an expensive lens would have. I became resourceful because I knew the basics of how this camera or this lens works. It is very difficult to be resourceful if you haven't mastered any basics on the thing that you want to be resourceful in. It's very, very difficult. Instead of mastering basics on what we know, you know what we've become masters of? We've become masters of looking for secrets. We're very, very skilled when it comes to finding out what is the secret. We ask those questions: what is the secret of this? What is the secret of that? And yet we've got a huge task in our hands to master basics that we know, because once again, it is from those basics that you will become resourceful. In other words, it means that some of the answers that you are looking for, some of the secrets that you are looking for, they are hidden in the basics. They are hidden in the basics. You master the basics repeatedly, you do the basics repeatedly, then you will soon realize that there are other things that you can do by just using the basics that you have. This is no secret, it's just common sense. It is just common sense that is aligned just to a very few life principles. In a skill that you want to monetize, once you have mastered the basics of that particular skill, the next thing that you want to look at is to find out, how can I monetize this skill that I have? Once again, there are people that are doing exactly the same thing that you are doing in that area that you are skillful at. Now, there are people that are they're running businesses based on that skill. So the next thing that you need to do is that you need to find out what exactly that now you need to do in order for you to monetize that skill. Again, it goes with principles. It goes with principles. This video is not about principles, but I would like to just say something about principles, just a little bit. A principle has got two sides to it. There is a positive side and a negative side to a principle. If you align to the principle and you do stuff according to the principle, you do the stuff that the principle says you do, you're going to get positive results. So that's the one side of a principle. But if you violate the principle, you're going to get a negative results based on the same principle. It is the same principle that gives you positive results if you align to it and you do what the principle says you must do. Or if you violate the very same principle, the principle itself is going to give you a negative result. Let me make an example. Say you want to make 10,000 Rand in the next, say, coming 2-3 months or whatever. And like what I said about the Jews, when they say it's only common sense, live within your means. So those are the things that you need to do. So you've got a goal that I want to raise 10,000 Rand in the next month, and maybe, let's say, for argument's sake, you're making 20,000 Rand. So it means that you will need to take 10,000 Rand of the 20,000 Rand and put it aside, because that's what you want to save. If you are going to take the 20,000 Rand and yet at the same time you have the mind of wanting to save 10,000 Rand, and you use 18,000 Rand of the 20,000 Rand, you are not going to save 10,000 Rand. And that's just you're still within the principle. The principle says you have not saved enough for you to have the 10,000 Rand. But if you had followed the right steps, that, okay, if it means that you want to save weekly, so it's 2,500 Rand every week, you miss that, you're not going to make it to your goal, because you are violating the same principle that you believe it's going to help you to make this 10,000 Rand. So the principle is going to give you 7,500 Rand if you miss 2,500 Rand in a week. This is just how principles work. Now let's come back to mastering the basics. What is the secret, someone may ask, of creating good, healthy relationships? There's no secret in creating good, healthy relationships. It's common sense, and the common sense is known. Just be faithful, be trustworthy, be supportive. And all of these other things that you know about friendships, just do those things and you will have good, healthy relationships. It's not a secret. Just do what you're supposed to do in relationships. On keeping a good, healthy relationship with your spouse, your partner, whatever, it's common sense. Be faithful to your spouse. Be truthful at all times. Be supportive. Stop being promiscuous, because maybe the reason you are not getting the benefits of your relationship, which you believe there is a secret to, maybe it is because you are being unfaithful and your partner does not like that. So clearly, according to principle, you are not going to get what the relationship is supposed to give you if you are violating some of the principles that you are supposed to uphold when you are in a relationship. It's just as simple as that. When it comes to business, there are principles that you need to observe as you run your business. One of the things that I've seen especially in the field that I'm in as a photographer and also as one that is mentoring a few other photographers. One of the things that I have seen that make them not to be as successful as they would like to be is that these guys, they tend not to deliver in time. They instead of delivering the work at the time that they promised the client, then they come up with different stories, different lies. You find that they service one client and they do a good job, but because they delivered late, the client is not trusting them anymore. They are unreliable. So reliability becomes a thing that you need to have if you want to grow your business. You need to be a person that people can trust. You need to be reliable. You need to be someone that when you are being recommended, you do not embarrass the person that recommended you to another client. You need to deliver. If you are unable to deliver, the next thing that you need to do, you need to communicate. All of these things are common sense, folks. All of these things are common sense. There's no secret in these things. If you do not know how to do a particular thing, then go and find help. There are people that know how to solve a problem that you're encountering in your business. There are people that are very giving. If you ask the right questions, they will help you on how to go about and perfect that skill or perfect that business and become a person that people can rely on. Once basics are mastered, what happens is that they become a habit. How do they become a habit? It means that for whatever that you want to start, even if it means that you were to learn a new skill, now you understand that all that you need, it is for you to develop an interest in that skill. Once you've developed an interest in that skill, just find out what are the basic things that you need to do so that you can even succeed in that particular skill. I have seen people picking up a musical instrument very, very late in life. But these same people, because they mastered the basics of that musical instrument, they are very good musicians and they play very well, as if though they started playing when they were 14 or 12 or even in their 20s. Some of them, they start playing a musical instrument in their 60s and they master it and they're very good at it. And it's not because they were born with a gene that they can play a guitar very well. They just took this instrument as a thing that they want to do, and they mastered the basics. Then they unlocked other levels of their skill in that musical instrument. So there's no magic, there's no secret. It's just a matter of mastering the basics and do the basics over and over again and become better at it. Everything in life, you become better at it as you master the basics of the thing. Maybe that is the secret. Maybe that is the secret. The secret that you are looking for, you're going all over trying to find the secret. Maybe you just need to master the basics, and then you will realize that there is no secret. There is no secret. It then becomes common sense. It then becomes a thing that you can take from learning one skill and find another skill that you want to learn and employ the very same principle of mastering the basics of that skill, and you master that and you take another and you apply exactly the same. It works everywhere. It works everywhere. You will need to be a person of consistency. You cannot master anything that you are not consistent in. Inconsistency results into you not succeeding or not yielding the results that you wanted. And you'll need to be a person that take himself or herself very seriously. It is in mastering the basics that you will learn to become a better person in all other areas of your life. Just know the basics, do them over and over again, and become a master at it, to the extent that you can even start teaching other people about the very thing that you once struggled and other people are struggling with. Now you've become a solution to many people, and you start then monetizing that as well. How beautiful is that? You master the basics, and then now you become a person that can help other people, and you can monetize that. You can monetize it because there are people that don't know what to do, and because you know, you can then monetize and say to people, for an hour of my time to help you do this thing, I need so much. And all that you're doing, you are teaching them to rely on the basics of the thing that they want to do, and that's all that you're doing. You become a person that can coach other people to succeed using the exact same thing that helped you to be a better person. And finally, one of the killers of mastery is a thing called procrastination. This thing has killed a lot of progress in many people. Now remember that in order for you to master anything, especially when it comes to basics, you need to do this thing repeatedly. If you procrastinate, if you tell yourself that I will do it some other time, guess what you're doing? You are actually holding yourself back. And in most cases, people pull themselves back. And again, this is common sense. If you don't do, then it's not going to be done. If you don't act, then there's going to be no action. So there's no miracle. You can go and try and find answers as to why am I not progressing. Only if you're to come back and ask yourself very truthful questions and be honest with yourself. Am I consistent in this thing that I am doing? Because if you are not consistent, you are not going to reap the results that you want. So procrastination is a big killer of progress for many people. I'm from there. I used to procrastinate a whole lot of stuff, and I used to see other people progressing in life, and I thought maybe I don't have the secret. They have the secret, and I don't. It's hidden from me. Only to find that I was just procrastinating on the stuff that I was supposed to do. So just avoid procrastinating stuff that you need to do. Once you know what the basic things that you need to do, just do those things repeatedly, and you will see yourself improving. You will see yourself unlocking other levels in that skill that you have, in that business that you're trying to do. Because if you don't master the basics, going to the next level, it's almost a thing that is a dream. It's a dream because you cannot go to another level when you have not mastered the basic things that you were supposed to master. So what then are we saying? We are saying, if you want to succeed in anything, it goes in anything that you can think of that you want to succeed in. Know the basics, do the basics over and over again, up until you get to a point whereby you can use the basics to even do stuff that is done by people that are way more advanced than you. These people that are advanced, that you see them as having advanced, all of these people that you look up to, that you feel and think that they're doing well, if you were to go and ask these people, they have mastered the basics of that thing that you are admiring them for. If you see a relationship that is thriving, if you were to ask the people that are in that relationship, it will boil down to having mastered the basics of a relationship. The basics of a relationship: being faithful, being supportive, loving, and being truthful at all times. Those are the basics in a relationship, among others. So if you see people that have succeeded, or that are succeeding, or that are doing better than you, chances are they have mastered the basics, and the other things that they are doing, which seems to be way more than what you are doing, it's simply because they have mastered the basics. So in your skill, in your field of work, in your business, just look at the basics that you need to master and do those, and see what is going to happen to you personally and to your business. If you do not see progress in what you are doing, just remember to ask yourself this question: how far have I mastered the basics of this thing that I want to have progress in? Because if you have not mastered it, then maybe that's the reason why you are stagnant. That is the reason why you are not growing. Because when you master basics, then you unlock yourself to the next level of your growth. I hope this has helped you, and if it does, please do leave me a comment, please do like and share, and please do subscribe as well, and do recommend this content to a person that you feel that they are stagnant as a result of them skipping the basics that they're supposed to be taking care of, so that they can master whatever it is that they want to master, so that they can succeed as well. Because folks, at the end of the day, there is no secret to this thing. We just have to remember what the basics are and master the basics and grow from the basics. Until next time, stay blessed.